ever-inspirational Lauren Hemp, the ever-impactful Lauren Hemp, who was laid off by Wahhabi in the box, took a touch and fired it into the bottom right-hand corner. What it means is that Manchester City, who need 4 points to win the WSL title, are on their course to 3 valuable ones at home to Arsenal. At the break, Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Oh, what a first half that was then for Manchester City, who lead Arsenal 1-0 at the break. Lauren Hemp, the difference. We can focus on the nerves and the pressure around City heading into the game, but the finish from Lauren Hemp, Tash Harding, was as good as you'll see. Yeah, really clinical. I think without Bunny Shaw, I think City have to get as many numbers as they can in the 18-yard box, and I think that proved that she's always alive to second phases, and that's what coaches always say: be alive to rebound, be first to any drop downs, and that's what Lauren Hemp is probably really good at, and what people really oversee a lot of the time. But great finish in the bottom corner, it had pace, fantastic. I think City have had obviously more chances to maybe potentially score again, but I think they were lucky also down the other end. But I don't think since that shot, I'm not sure Arsenal's created much problems. I think Arsenal, yeah, they grew into the game, particularly in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Keating needed that big save, that big parry inside her 6-yard box. But that's it really from the Gunners, who did look like they wanted to upset the party. But after going behind, Manchester City have been in control. Yeah, and I'm a little bit disappointed with Arsenal, I think. I was expecting them to be a little bit more up for it. They look a little bit lacklustre. They look like they're running out of ideas. And for me to see that at an Arsenal team that I'm not used to seeing, I'm used to seeing an Arsenal team that are very ruthless, you know, foot to floor kind of type of football. And I think after 10 minutes they kind of gave up. And for me, I think City's been the better team. But City can't rest on that now. They've got to go even further second half. Well, that's the next question, isn't it? Gareth Taylor's headed up from the back of the stands here to go and give that half-time team talk. What is Gareth Taylor saying to his side in that dressing room now with that 1-0 lead in such an important game? Yeah, for me, it's probably going to be more of the same, but can we keep control in and around their box when we get it? It's a different game plan probably than before. So before this game, we wouldn't have expected City to be counter-attacking constantly, but they are, and they've shown they've scored from it. So if they're going to continue to counter-attack, can they add a little bit more composure in the final third when they get that opportunity? And just one final word, when the goal went in, not only the relief from everyone in the crowd, but it was really nice to see the players go to Steph Houghton in her final home game. Yeah, legend. I think it was touching, and I do hope, you know, the romantic side of me hopes that she does get on today, but it's football, you know, sometimes got to be ruthless, and you know, we still might not see her. We will see. Plenty more to come in the second half. We know that from the commentary box. Let's go pitch side with Cel and Shaun.
Welcome back to Matchday Live with myself, Cel Spellman, and legend Shaun Wright-Phillips. We're live from the Joie Stadium, 45 minutes into our massive WSL clash against Arsenal, and it's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Goal from Lauren Hemp. Shaun, before we get into the details of the half, what did you make of those first 45 minutes?
Great performance, to be honest with you. I think we started on the front foot. We played that long raking ball into that half and regained possession in there, and from then you could kind of see we was on the front foot. Arsenal were always going to have a few chances because, as we discussed beforehand, they're a strong team. They have quality players that can hurt you if you give them those opportunities. But the girls have defended superbly those situations that have arisen, and we've come out, and the goal itself, the way it was taken, was beautiful.
Well, let's focus on that goal then as well to begin with. We had a couple of half chances beforehand, but that felt like the clearest cut, and it's all about Lauren Hemp, isn't it?
It was. I thought they did tremendous in the box in terms of keeping that ball alive and waiting for that right moment to open up. But Lauren Hemp's first touch there was wonderful. I think it set her up to be able to put that ball in a position where it was almost like a one-shot swivel straight away, whipped it straight back across the keeper, and it was a fantastic finish.
One of my obvious questions, Shaun, is that one of them where she in her head has made the decision of if this ball gets pinged in, or is it more instinctual she goes off when the ball arrives?
That for me seemed all instinct. It was the first touch, and it looked like she concentrated on making sure that first touch was on point. Once she had done that, then it was pretty much plain sailing from there in terms of making sure she got good contact, because we know she's got a fantastic left foot as it is, and it showed again in that position.
Now, the next one I want to talk about was just before, well, maybe about 5 minutes before that, there was a save from Keating at the back when Arsenal kind of been quite direct. It was a very strong push out from the box. The reason I'm mentioning that, though, is because in one of the other WSL clashes today, Manchester United have conceded, which does mean that our keeper Keating has won the Golden Glove for the season. An incredible achievement, not to mention as well, Shaun, it's her debut season.
I think that save summed her up. I think if you look at the games over, because she makes a lot of fantastic saves, sometimes double saves at that, and I think that is what that deserves. I think you don't throw yourself around a goal, put your body in harm's way the way Kira does, and make saves the way she does, and not deserve that reward. And it's just a delight that has happened already while the game's still going on. She most probably don't even know. We're up here laughing about it, but yes, she won Golden Gloves, and I'm so happy for her.
It's amazing. While we were speaking, we highlighted her as well. We had a question come in when we were doing our pre-game show, and actually speaking about how Tash said, still very early on in her career, like we've not even probably seen the full potential of what lays ahead for her, really.
No, we definitely haven't. And if you listen to what Tash said, she said she had a howler early on in the season. I think it was against Arsenal, and the way she's grown from that moment onwards in one season and still managed to get Golden Gloves. It's scary to think how far more she can grow in terms of the way she commands the goal, the way she comes across. Because I think already she does all these things fabulously, but she's, like you said, she's still young. She's still going to improve in certain areas, and her decision making will still become, in hindsight, way better, because we've seen her improve in one season already.
And that Tash said as well, so exciting, potentially in England #1 as well further down the line. We have to then mention as well, Shaun, as you know, the entire City defence, and you touched upon it. They've dealt with Arsenal well when they've been quite direct, but, you know, highlighting the likes of Casper Wright, Alex Greenwood as well. They all play a part in keeping those clean sheets.
Yeah, they do, and I think you've got to put Hasegawa in there. If you've noticed, Summer Casper, and when Alex goes out, you'll notice that Hasegawa somehow is in that similar little centre-back role, and she seems to pick up the ball in areas and cut crosses out. I think the understanding those five have at the back, including Kira's the sixth, that is, for me, is phenomenal. The way they all understand each other, the way they all protect and cover each other is something that takes a lot of work, and you can see that they've worked hard at it.
Everyone knows the role that she has played, but we didn't really mention it before the game. Greenwood, and whenever you watch her live, just goes about her business so well. I think you turned to me and said she's a Rolls Royce.
That's what I make of her when I watch her. She never seems to be overstretching for anything. She never seems to be panicking. She's always calm, collective. She understands what she's got to do at that moment in time, and more times than none, she does the right things and makes the right decision. So for me, a Rolls Royce of a player.
A Rolls Royce of a player. Looking at it from an Arsenal point of view, I mean, obviously they're going to be disappointed going in 1-0 down. They have just really been more direct than anything. Did that surprise you?
No, it didn't, because it's something I said at the beginning of the game. I think with the players they have, but also with the way City play, in terms of transition, that is their option to get out, because City are pressing quite high, so they don't want to take too many risks either. So I saw that as that out ball to try and cause City problems, which they've tried, but City's defence has dealt with it tremendously.
Feels as well, though, when they don't get the ball out, we've been so close to nicking it in that final third. Do you maybe think that'll be something Gareth might try and push on them a bit more, is try and get that ball so high up the pitch and push a bit higher?
Yeah, definitely. There has been a few times where Chloe's gone, Lauren's gone, but Fowler hasn't gone just yet, and she seemed like at some point she was caught in like two minds, whereas if she goes straight away when they go, we maybe win the ball there, but it sets the ascendancy for the players behind her to then do the same thing in behind her, and that's when the traps start appearing and Arsenal literally have no way out.
No way out. Well, listen, let's take a pause here. We're going to go take a look and watch this goal back, but from our commentary position. So check this out. This was live as the goal went in from our position at the Joie Stadium.
City have gone long here in a change of perhaps style. Hemp then sends it out to the right-hand side. Fowler's on the right at the box. She takes a touch in with the left foot, sends it back post looking for Lauren Hemp. Header goes away from Emily Fox. Wahabi first to it. Hemp on the turn! Oh, Lauren Hemp! A brilliant goal! And such an important goal! That'll calm any nerves now. Lauren Hemp with her 10th WSL goal of the season, and it could be such a crucial one. On the turn, fires it home. It's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0.
If you've just been hearing some live music behind us as well, there's been a battle of the bands happening here at the Joie Stadium. That was the winning banjo word in the background as well. I think they won some studio time, so they'll be buzzing up there behind the camera. Shaun, we've just seen as well, actually, I mean, Arsenal, a few players out warming up. Same with the City players. I know we, of course, will be hoping to see the legend that is Steph Horton, but we can see there's a breadth of talent there behind us. Potentially, we could look to changes later on in the second half, or would you be keeping it as it is?
I think at the minute you focus on keeping it as it is. I think the team are playing well. I think Arsenal are struggling to deal with it. You can see Arsenal look like they're making a change there as she's warming up in her kit ready to come on, so it looks like they're going to make a change before us. So I think it will now depend on that. If we deal with that change, then we might not need to make a sub yet. But
it's looking like they're bringing on their number 10, Little. So do you think that'll be a change in tact? What do you think the thinking might be there?
I'm not sure as to why, but he needs to do something different and not really getting out in a good way of possession and getting out in route one. And sometimes when you do play that direct, it's hard for the rest of the team to catch up behind you, so your options are quite less in many ways. And like I said, because City are defending well, Arsenal are going to need to have more people in the box or more people close to Russo when the ball gets to her, because sometimes you can't hold the ball up for that long, especially the way City play.
As we look to that, the ball's just coming out. Give us a touch. I'm only joking. From the City point of view, as we know, I mean, a draw would be a great result, but we'll want to keep the win. 1-0 is a precarious result, though. So what do you think the chat will be in the City changing room?
They've got to maintain the way they've been playing. I think, like I said to you, I think as a team in a whole, they've played fantastically. They've dealt with problems, they've put fires out, but they've also caused Arsenal problems and got a goal at the end of it. And we all spoke about this in the first part of the show, and we said when they do get chances, they have to be clinical. Yes. And that chance that Lauren took was nothing but clinical. And there will be another chance that comes up, and they have to be prepared to take that chance again, but also be aware of the hurt and the damages that Arsenal can cause you going the other way.
Yeah, concentration is definitely going to be key. And also, I guess as well, we'll probably mention it at full time, but you don't want to be thinking about anything other than this next half of football, nothing beyond that.
Most definitely. Come out, start the game exactly how you started the first half, which is on the front foot. Give something for Arsenal to think about. Keep giving them food for thought, where they have to constantly think about how we're going to stop this City team, rather than, all right, when we get the ball, we're going to do this. We need to make that part, that second choice, and let them worry about us and not so much us worrying about them.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I've just seen Gareth Taylor come out as well, and I can see as well the girls, I think they'll be making their way off the pitch very soon. So I guess hoping as well, Shaun, final thing, I just walked past Bunny Shaw, who sat behind the bench as well. Bet she'd have been licking her lips to be on there today.
I honestly think if she was playing, it could be more than one. I think with some of the crosses that have gone in the box.
Yeah. Do you think that's maybe, though, actually, Chloe Kelly, are you happy with the work she's done there on the pitch?
Yeah, I think she's been phenomenal. I think if you've been watching, there's been a few times where her and Mary have rotated positions. You've seen her come short, and you've seen Jess Park go further and behind and so on. So, yes, they've adapted to it very well.
Fantastic. Well, listen, the girls are taking back to the pitch. Come join us at full-time mics and commentary. It's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0.
Shaun, thank you. As we get ready for a decisive second 45 minutes, Manchester City are halfway there to a big win in the WSL title race. If you need a reminder of the maths, 4 points before today would have sealed the title for Manchester City after Chelsea slipped up in midweek. 3 of them could come here with Manchester City leading by a 1-0. And if Chelsea lose at Bristol City later, and the title will be Manchester City's without even having to kick a ball after full time today. Arsenal are going to make a change at the start of this second half. Frida Marnham, who did just have that little concern at the end of the first half, is off.